yo, we back. Hey guys, so it's been a little bit since we've done a little bit of a UFC. Last time we did it with our boy Cheeky, but I'm your boy Electric Dave, kicking it off with our homeboy holding the fort down always, the talented, the amazing, the #1 fantasy guy, if you ask me. All right, let me not gas him up too much, the talented Mr. Taco. I'm going to kick it back to him to let him lead the way. I'm just excited. Your boy Electric Dave is really, trying to kick the game back off with the UFC. So I'm going to let Taco lead the way. But, yeah, guys, 264, here we go.
264 is going to be a great one because we're getting the third matchup between Poirier and McGregor. And I think that to kick this video off, we're going to give you a little samplings here from your boy Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier. We both haven't seen this clip yet, so it'll be interesting. Let's just put it like that and let this rock.
Yo, my guy.
Damn.
My guy McGregor's, he is ready.
Conor is scared. He is afraid.
Right. Afraid of what?
Look at him. He's trying to bully him.
Afraid of what?
Dustin, the diamond.
Oh, please. Don't come in.
Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him.
Let's go.
No class.
Let's go.
No style. No nothing.
Conor's back. Conor's back.
Overrated.
All kind of nonsense. Donating. None of that.
Overrated.
I didn't know that he did that. I didn't know that he did that.
Yeah, that just recently came down. It's your boy Conor doing Conor things. Anything that he can do for some attention. He knows that he doesn't have the skills in the ring anymore, so he has to start mouthing off. And with that face, David, break it down for me. Tell me how Conor's gonna win this fight.
No, but how are you gonna listen? Let's just be real. Let's break down what realistically is happening and what everybody's talking about, what Dana keeps throwing out there, right? Like, what does Conor have to fight for? He's a made man. He's really, I think when you're at that level, when you're making that much money, Conor said he was looking past Dustin, right? He said he was looking at the Pacquiao fight. So don't get me wrong. I mean, Dustin's been the truth. He's been one of the busiest, most active, top 2 for the past couple years now. So Dustin is a proven interim champion. Let's just put that label on it because he never was the real champion. So does he deserve to get a title fight after this if he beats Conor? Of course. But here's what I'm going to tell you. That's not happening because your boy, Conor McGregor, is back. And really, the Notorious is going to knock him out in, I would say, round 1. And I know that you like to take pride. You like to take pride in really – if you go back and watch the last fight, Conor almost actually knocked him out. He dazed him. So if Conor would have
question. Does almost count in fighting?
No, it doesn't. No. Right. I never said. Okay. I never said.
He was gassed after the first. His tank was gone. He couldn't handle it.
His leg was torn up.
Right.
His leg was torn up. So my thought is here's what I'm gonna tell you. I think this is an exciting fight. I'm glad that we're having the trilogy. I think it was a smart move by Poirier to take the third fight as opposed to going for the title. Could it have been bigger? Could it have been more box office if Poirier would have gotten the title shot and then gone out there and fought McGregor? But I think that they knew they couldn't give McGregor a title shot right away because of what was going on. So McGregor needs this fight big time. He needs this one. And if he doesn't get this one, then it's going to be a problem for him to even really come back and fight anybody because then it's just going to start – really the losses might start racking up. He might start losing to guys he shouldn't lose to. Not that I really think that would happen to Conor. Just my thought. I'm going to tell you right now, though, Conor wins this fight. You put him in the championship fight. ASAP. You waste no time in throwing Conor back a title shot. Let the man just
right. You can't risk him losing another fight. So you definitely have to immediately, regardless of anything, the winner of Dustin versus Conor is gonna be facing Oliveira for the championship. Regardless, if Chandler got the shot, for God's sakes, both these guys have more of a resume than Chandler. So
well said.
So I think the winner of this fight, regardless, is gonna get Oliveira in that nice championship match. I think either way it's going to be good because I think kind of like what you said, Dustin over these last few years have really started to show himself as being like, one of those resilient guys who the pressure and everything that he's been through has turned him into a diamond, not to, play on his nickname, but the man came through in this big fight versus McGregor when most people didn't even think he had a chance, or the people that did think he had a chance were really only his true supporters. Most casual fans were probably in the McGregor camp,
Did you see also? I mean, I know that we're really focusing on Conor Poirier here, but on this card with Tuivasa and Greg Hardy, I know Greg Hardy was calling out Black Beast. Who's who's getting the heavyweight title matchup, the interim title?
Derek Lewis.
Derek Lewis, that's right, correct. Derek Lewis. He's calling out Derek Lewis on this one. I like this heavyweight fight. I mean, this is going to be. I think Tuivasa is more well-rounded. He's had a couple more fights in the UFC to really probably beat Greg Hardy as long as he gets out of that first round. The only problem is Greg Hardy.
This is Greg Hardy from the NFL.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. He is one of the most explosive UFC fighters out there, if you ask me. Comes out there swinging hard and really has won a lot of first-round knockout fights. This is on the same card? Gilbert Burns?
It says main card here. Yes, this is the co-main event.
The co-main? Okay. So, I mean, I know we weren't focusing too much on every single match, but again, this is one I'm excited about too because I want to see how Gilbert Burns picks himself back up after that last fight. I think he does win this one. I was also surprised by Wonderboy. Wonderboy came in and his last fight, he was pretty impressive. So I don't know, man. I want to see how Gilbert picks up after his loss to Kamaru.
Yeah. And I think that, for a guy like Gilbert, he needs to get this win because that's such a competitive division with, Colby, you got him, you got Usman, and then, Masvidal's just thrown in there because, he's street Jesus out here. So people love to see him fight.
Like both these guys, though. They're both kind, cool athletes. I feel like they're really nice guys,
So what do you think the winner of this gets Gilbert Burns?
Gilbert Burns is fighting in this fight. The winner of this gets who?
Oh, I'm not Gilbert Burns. I'm sorry. The Leon Edwards.
Leon really. I don't know why he didn't press forward on the Nate fight. Like it was. I was so hyped for Nate. I was hoping Nate would get that win, but I don't know, man. Nate, feel like as much as I love Nate, he's got to get a win because it's not looking too. I mean, as much as I like him. Yeah, I agree. I think that the winner of this gets Edwards, and then the winner of that should get a title shot.
The winner of Colby versus Usman.
He needs to win in a more impressive way. Like you can't go out there winning that type of way. I mean, you can't. So yeah, I agree with that. That's a good question.
And to speak of winning in an impressive way, you think that Conor is going to get that impressive finish in this fight? I know that he's been doing a lot of working on his cardio. You see him doing a lot of biking, and you see he's putting in a lot of gym time that he's showing on social media. So, we don't know how hard he's going, but it looks like he's going pretty hard. So I'm interested to see how well he's able to last in this fight. And if he's able to make some counters, so like what you said, that front leg kick that Dustin was able to show and really neutralize him, kind of pay dividends throughout the fight. Is he able to counter that and come up with something to affect Dustin?
I think, first off, Conor got to this level not by being mediocre. He got there by being elite. So I think people forget that because Conor just kind of fell off the game, not through being not elite. I think he fell off the game from becoming a millionaire and just ultimately saying, hey, I want to be more than just a prize fighter, right? Like a lot of guys nowadays make the mistake. I'm going to use Adrian Broner as an example. Make the mistake of going up there, getting big money fights, and then overspending to get the next fight. Or there's someone out there on YouTube that does a lot of great videos that talks about how your second contract. How do you get to that second contract as an athlete? McGregor has really surpassed that level, and to want to come back and compete. I mean, you can only commend that sort of fire and drive from a fighter, someone that doesn't need to fight. he's fighting. So, all right, I may be sounding a little fanboyish on saying that, like, why I like him.
At least you can admit it.
Yeah, I'll give that. I'll give that. But at the same time, like, you're also fighting top of the top fighters. You're not fighting like you got to come in like you're saying. I mean, he's putting in the work, but he has to put in the work because he showed that the last fight he wasn't even on the same level. You know, he did again. If you go back and watch that fight, if Conor presses forward on, it was maybe I think it was midway through the second round. He dazed Poirier. But those leg kicks had already done a lot of damage. It was a little late, so he really couldn't apply that much pressure. So my thought again here is that I think Conor comes out strong. I think it's not going to matter about his cardio because he's not. This is not going late rounds. This is going round 1 or 2, and I go round 1 or 2, knock out McGregor, and he's gonna press forward. He's coming to kill, man. It's not gonna be it's not gonna be pretty for Dustin. He's gonna let it all out there because there's no reason for him to take it 5. Like Poirier doesn't have a strong chin. He just doesn't, and it's not been proven that he can take these big hits.
Did you see what Dustin? Not what Dustin said. Did Conor said first one that shoots a bitch?
No, what?
Yeah, first one who shoots in the match is a bitch.
Oh, well,
he's trying to make him play his game and stand up and trying to not have it go to the ground and trying to avoid that takedown from Poirier because let's face it, on a face, you know, just like on a boxing tight match, I would think that Conor would be favored here.
100%.
But once you start taking it to the ground and you start using some of that wrestling and some of those other moves, Poirier probably has more of an advantage in that type of fight. Would you not say?
Nobody want to see no grab ass. Really, nobody want to see nobody want to see that. You know what?
Nobody wants to see an Izzy.
No, not just an Izzy.
Because Izzy, who was the last guy that he? Well, now with Vittori. He literally had him on the thing, and he literally grabbed the whole dude's ass.
Right. Yeah. Man, nobody's trying to play that game. Like Vittori really thought he could go in there and win the title.
Trying to take him down.
Just taking him down because Jan had just shown.
Jan is just so much bigger.
A bigger guy, and also a little bit of honestly, when it comes down to like strategically,
more powerful.
Yeah. He was a little bit not smarter than Izzy, but he used his power. He knew he could win that fight. And he went about it.
I also think that it was a situation where Izzy wasn't used to fighting someone who had that type of size on him and was able to stylistically understand, hey, let me try to take advantage of on him. And then if you look at what Izzy did, he basically said, okay, so I lost. Here's what I'm weak at. And he went and he worked on it. You saw tangible upgrades from the last fight to that fight.
He had a tremendous turnaround from his ground game in being able to avoid takedowns. I think he did a tremendous job. He could have easily lost this fight, but not this fight. But if he hadn't made those adjustments, 5-0 on rounds. I mean, 5-0. There's really I didn't give Vittori 1 round in that fight. But really sticking to the subject here, I give McGregor round 1 or 2. It is what it is. Your boy is back. The Notorious is back, and I love that explosive sort of media coverage.
Like Dave said. If Conor doesn't get it early, Dustin's probably gonna get it late. I don't see Conor lasting this whole. I don't see Conor winning a war. We don't see Conor winning many wars anymore. Now it could be because of ring rust, like everyone is saying, and they're deferring to him not having the drive. But I don't know if he wins an all-out war where it's 5 rounds. Like he's not gonna win a Colby versus Usman. Like I don't see Conor handling that kind of an intense 5 rounds. I think that Conor right now is going to, like you said, look for the early knockout, try to put him down early. And I heard him say everything that he's going to be doing is a kill shot. He's been practicing his kill shots. He wants to land some power early, make it thunder and then put him down. And I just don't see him wanting to go 5 rounds of that.
Well, the best thing that could happen for the sport is Conor winning in an explosive fashion. I don't care that it's at Dustin's expense. I'm going to tell you right now that UFC will have an explosive performance in all sort of media coverage if McGregor goes out there and does the McGregor business that he does. If he puts on a show, the business is going to be on fire, and call him a printing press like we're doing with the stimulus checks. Print that fucking face in the middle with McGregor's face on it, baby. because that's what it's gonna look like if the UFC goes out there. And excuse my language, I probably shouldn't have cursed, but you get what I'm saying. I'm just
Yep.
like,
And you know what Dustin said? Diamonds are forever.
I think you're taking Dustin for some not necessarily great reasons.
What do you
One,
mean?
because you just
Dustin, like you said, has been doing this for a long time. He has the record. He's put in the fights. He's put in the work. He stayed in the ring. He doesn't have the millions of dollars. He's motivated. He's dedicated. He's determined. And for all those reasons, I believe that Dustin Poirier is going to duplicate and replicate the successes that he had in the second fight. And I don't think that Conor is going to have the ability to knock him out early because Dustin's going to take him down late. Now, with that being said, I would like to say this. For all the fans out there, if you made it this far, we're going to let you know we're going to have a parlay bet coming up for you before Saturday. We'll flash it for you guys on our Instagram. It's going to be a short little clip where we're going to break down the number one parlay we have cooking for this fight. But Dave, before we round it out, I want to ask you about one last fight on this card, and then we'll close out here for the people. And I think we were going to go here. We want to talk about one of these guys that we started covering when he first came up, when we first started making his noise, and that's the Suga Show. Sugar Shane O'Malley, he's coming up in this fight. He's fighting some no-name guy because his other guy got, I don't know what happened to him, but he couldn't fight. So now Shane is fighting this, silhouette of a man.
I like when you look at a fight and you have a star like Sugar Shane O'Malley, and you look at, if you scroll up, right, it talks about their last fight. And this seems to be Chris's debut in the UFC. Okay. And listen, I get that Vera beat O'Malley and he got injured. I don't like when they start feeding guys to really just prop them up.
Well, this is a late replacement. Like, his guy got hurt. So it's not like this guy was his original.
Take him off the card. Take him off the card.
You can't take him off this card. You're selling Conor. You want to sell Sugar. This is a fight where you want Sugar to go out there, mop him, and like you said,
actually,
talk about
you're
money.
Right.
It's the Sugar Show, baby. Sugar has his own little following. He's like the next McGregor type. He is. To have him on a Conor McGregor card, I feel like is the thing that UFC has to do because his electric style, especially kicking off the undercards, I feel like is going to be like, whoa, like especially that people haven't seen him because like when you watch this kid fight, he got hurt, yes, on a freak injury on his leg in that fight. What happened?
That was the second time, so he's injury prone.
Well, he's only lost one fight.
I know, but he won. He got injured and won a fight on his back. So that's the thing.
You gotta love that shit, man. Yeah, that shit is that shit that makes you go, damn, this dude wants it. He's not Conor McGregor. He wants it. And I think that's what you need out of your UFC fighters. You need more Sugar and less Conor.
I disagree with the less Conor part. I agree with the
less new Conor. Sorry.
Well, I feel like you can't take away from what Conor has accomplished. I think it's easy to say more or less Conor, but when you look at it from the other side of what I said earlier, you got to look at it from the perspective of he doesn't necessarily need the business anymore, and he's still. But
that's something that when you're going into a fight like this, that matters. That's what I'm saying.
It does matter if you're not taking it serious, but you just finished saying the statement that he is taking it serious. I think he realizes
he's taking it serious.
I think
it seems like he's taking it serious. We thought that happened last time. Yeah, the last time I was behind Conor and I was like, oh yeah, he looks like he's in great shape and he's doing all this. And you know what? He showed up with, we'll call it ring rust. We'll call it, the $1 million curse, because now that he's paid, does he have the will and desire to compete at that high level and continuously get hit? Because like you said, once you get paid that much, you don't need to. You have your liquor company. You don't need to get punched in the face. Like it's not something you need to do. So it is a question that you do have to have for these top UFC guys, especially like Conor.
But he's choosing to walk into that octagon. So that's the thing that I think you got to give him credit for wanting to still take these type of big fights, not necessarily like big money, because why would he be considering boxing if there were big box office fights, right?
Yeah.
So he's in here taking some of these fights, I think, for legacy, for pride, for just because he's Conor. Like, because really these type of fights
also think that
matter. They feed his ego.
he's seen the Mayweather path. He's seen what these Logan Paul kids are doing, and he understands there's a shit ton of money left to be made in this fucking,
absolutely.
And he doesn't have to be the best. He just has to be the guy that has his following, and he'll never be able to top what Money May has done, because Money May's built a following that'll forever follow him, and he is the most prized pay-per-view fighter. But
absolutely,
Conor can definitely come into his own stratosphere and become his own tier, almost like a LeBron to a Jordan. Like, you'll never catch Jordan, but you can be something really special out here. And I think it'll be. I want to see Conor win. I want to be wrong about Conor, because, like you said, people love to hate him, and that's great for the sport. That was great for Mayweather. People tuned in just to see him lose. I think this is the guy that's going to do it. Like, you know what I mean? That's how always people approach Mayweather. I think
you're a little wrong on that analogy, and I know I don't want to take it too long. Who's ever made it, I'm glad that you did. But I'm just saying, listen, for me, I think you got to look at it from both perspectives in this time, at least. I think you have to look at it from that perspective of saying you got to give Conor credit for just not going into the limelight and taking, because he didn't have to take the second Poirier fight. He had that over Poirier that he beat him in the first round and knocked him out fairly quickly. Why did he take that fight? He didn't have to. He didn't have to come back. He had all this money in the bank. He had, just sold his liquor company. Like, those were all things that were happening. It's not like it's not like his superstardom and his star was shining so bright that he didn't need that. But then he goes out there and loses, affects and takes a hit on how good the McGregor brand, the name is. So he has to come back and reclaim that. If he loses again, it's really going to be like, hey, you need to come back in here and go start hitting boys from top 10 to all the way back up to 1. And he's not trying to do that. There's no reason for him to do that. So, it's really going to be
if he loses, I see that he's going to really call Manny up. He's going to go see what Oscar's doing. Him like, hey, old guys, you want to fight me? I want to make some money too. That's where he goes after this. So for the UFC world, you want to see Conor pull this one off. But on that note, I think it was super interesting just talking Poirier and McGregor, because the back and forth between them on Twitter is actually pretty fun.
And one last thing I'll say. So thankful that we actually did hit 100 subscribers, right? Hey. I know that's a small number. I know that's not necessarily like 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, but I'm going to tell you, I want to say why that's so important to people like me and Taco. Because, to be honest, like, we have a passion for creating content. Taco does a great job at doing so much fantasy content for you guys, and as much as he can with the time that he has, he really dedicates so much of his time to really trying to create really good content with Ricky, who does a lot of Instagram stuff for you guys as well. But it has been such a journey to even try to get to 100. But I'm just so thankful for anybody that has been following, anybody that stuck around to 23 minutes. Thank you guys. And even if you didn't, we just hope that you continue to follow our path and journey. So I know that a lot of it has to do with Taco really pressing really hard. I just want to say that, hey, you guys will see me as well a lot more. And really just thank you to Taco and Ricky doing you guys' thing to really help drive the channel as much as you have. That's my 2 cents and the UFC 264, pay-per-view.
Yep. And I just want to let everyone know we're going to have a lot more fantasy content coming up, especially for football, as now we're starting to kick in. I've been guest hosting on a couple of shows, or not guest hosting, but just guesting on a couple of shows lately. And it's really been getting me really revved up for the season. I've been in the Scott Fishbowl League right now, so I've been drafting my team, and I'm super hyped for draft season. I'm already knee deep into research, so every day now I'm looking at new players. I'm analyzing the board. I'm getting a feel for the draft, because like everyone knows, I'm a flow drafter. I'm not an RB0 guy. I'm not a wide receiver 0 guy. I'm not someone who likes to fade the noise. I like to play the funk. So I dance to my own rhythm, and we're definitely going to have some great stuff for you guys coming up. And on that note, we are out of here. And until next time, peace.
Hey, David and Taco, they bring the heat. All about UFC, way more than a fantasy. Let's see who going toe to toe. Throw down on the mat. Check the replay, run it back. We got to check the stats. Hey, do this every day. We ain't come to play. This is sports talk, and we love talking MMA. Everything fantasy sports. Dopest show that I know. With Electric Dave and talented Mr. Taco. Let's go. Hey, G.